Welcome to Subramani. This is a long back story. For people who are interested in cricket, they will appreciate this more. There is this guy called Shahid Afridi who was making his debut for Pakistan, or one of his very early matches, when he went and got a 100. I think he got 136 or something. I'm just speaking from memory, I'm not very sure. So obviously somebody in the commentary box had to say this and said he's the next Imran Khan. Wasim Akram was at the commentary box, and he said, he started laughing and he said, look at this guy's batting technique, it's no patch on Imran Khan, right? So I doubt whether this guy will score well, whether he'll be a good batsman or whether he'll be a good bowler. It is too early to call him a next Imran Khan, but I have my reservations about whether this guy can be a next Imran Khan, because I've seen him bat in the past. Now cut to Harbhajan Singh making, I think Harbhajan made 64 in a match where where Sachin Tendulkar had failed. Maybe it made 5 or 6 or 0 or something like that. And obviously somebody in the commentary box said he's the next Kapil Dev. This was very well summarized by Sunil Gavaskar, who said Kapil Dev could walk into any world 11 for his batting or for his bowling. Of course, fielding was good, but Harbhajan's fielding was also very good at those days when he was just making his debut. So the thing is, Harbhajan did not live up to that reputation as an all-rounder. He was a good bowler. In fact, his bowling prowess was enhanced by the fact that there was Anil Kumble bowling on the other end. So if you take Harbhajan's career, the best period is when Kumble was bowling from the other end. After Kumble retired, Harbhajan started slipping, right? I'm not even getting into whether Harbhajan is a good bowler or a batsman or anything of that sort. I'm just getting into the fact that we are always in a hurry to find patterns. When Virat Kohli comes in, we say, oh, he's the next Sachin Tendulkar. When if Virat Kohli goes away, Shubman Gill comes, we say, oh, he's the next Virat Kohli. It takes a long time to establish. Now, why am I saying all this? Because once there is a bank, wherever that bank is, and let's say it is Equitas Bank, and then people say, oh, it's the next Hdfc Bank, or Yes Bank is the next Hdfc Bank. What is your hurry to draw a pattern? I used to do some research for an FII, and they would insist that the company have a 15-year track record, right? 15-year dividend paying track record, and and every quarter, 15 quarters, okay, over 15 quarters the EPS had to be increasing, right? So which meant you could not include something like a commodity player. It had to be a good company, it has to grow at a particular pace, and it is very difficult to find such companies. But yes, at least I know that to call a company a blue chip, it has to really be a blue chip. It has to be in that category, right? Otherwise, there is no hurry to say, oh, it is the next Google. It feels like 1929. Now the market can never come up again. I don't know why and how people make these statements, and or suddenly Mr. Ramesh Damani is saying all you have to do is take 10 lakhs and multiply it and double it every 3 years. So by the time you're 60, you will have 100 crores, or by the time you're 63, you will have 200 crores. Now this sounds very simple. It sounds as simple as saying take a ball and bowl at 150 kilometers per hour for about 90 balls in a year, in a day, right? So sounds so simple. Is it possible to do? How many Glenn McGraths are there who had that kind of stamina to bowl? How many Kapil Devs are there? How many have you seen, right? So we make 1-2 people like that in over a 10-year period. So you have to come out with the probability of something like this happening, and the more difficult it is to become Google, or more difficult it is to become a Netflix. Remember, law of averages is so many companies will fail for one company to become so successful. Also, it is very fashionable to say, oh, India has not produced a Google, India has not produced a Facebook, India has not produced a Netflix. We can't. We are not a 23 trillion economy with so much excess money available for risk capital, right? So in India does not have much of risk capital available. Secondly, we don't have any instrument other than equity share. So by the time an Indian entrepreneur is really successful, he is out of the company completely, because he is given to outsiders, mostly for US based investors who have come and put money there, right? So you have to realize, do you have the circumstances to create all these companies? I don't think we have. Also, when companies try something new, they can fail. Internationally, it is GE failing in financing. We have seen that. Toshiba failing in nuclear power. In India, we have seen Shapurji Palonji and Z struggle, and really struggle when they entered infrastructure. Right? These are not businesses which are easy to enter. So companies have to be good. Companies have to have a good business. That business has to be growing so that they can pump more and more money. All this is necessary if you want to be an investor, because if they get into slightly non-core diversification, they can be hurt very badly. Bajaj Auto went from scooters to motorcycle. It was a fantastic transition. They did very well. But many companies have failed in the new products that they launch, right? Then what do you do? How do you handle all that, right? Xerox said yes to so many things and they grew, and they said no to so many things and they failed, right? So it's not very easy to look at a business and say, oh, this is going to be so successful, etc. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort to become a blue chip. It doesn't happen overnight. So when you're looking for successful companies, look at certain things. Look at the company's ability to understand the business, the company's ability to attract talent. What I liked about Indigo was the day they set up the airline, they also set up a college for creating pilots and other crew that they would need. It was a very sensible move, because all airlines operate with the same aircrafts, go to the same airports. The only big difference that you can make is in the service. So what better than to create your own kids who will come into this as fresh as possible and well trained in your own institute. That was a very sensible thing to do. Similarly, what I like about Hindustan Unilever, its ability to attract talent. It's an amazing ability to attract talent. If they're there in any IIT or IIM or somewhere, they get the first day and people make a beeline to go and work with them, right? So look at the company's ability to build trust, ability to solve problems, right? Ability to attract talent, the power of the brand, power of the moat, right? So if you are a small shopkeeper, you're not happy with the margins that HUL gives you. Maybe they give 3% or 4%, you're not happy with that, but you have no choice, because if somebody comes to that shop, if my mother were to walk into that shop and find that the shop does not have Lux, it does not have Liril, it does not have Rin, it does not have any of those brands, she will think something is wrong with the shop, not with the fact that he does not have. She'll say, no, that's a bad shop, they don't have any of these products. So that's the power of the brand, that's the power of the moat, right? How many new products can they launch? How adaptive are they? How quick are they to responses of the public, right? Obviously there is relentless competition. Of course, there is Patanjali who might be chipping away at Close Up and Colgate, right? There could be Patanjali shampoo, soap, whatever. There is competition, there is Dabur, there are all those companies which are there, but can you navigate through all that? That's a very important question to ask. Of course, there will be a lot of predictable things, a lot of unpredictable things, but one thing is very clear: the succession planning, etc., in companies like HUL and Colgate is much better than we have seen in many Indian corporates, right, to family-run businesses. We were always afraid as to what would happen to the Reliance Group if Dhirubhai was not there, but Mukesh Ambani turned out to be a good successor. What happens after Mukesh? These questions will keep coming up. So you have to keep asking these questions. You have to see how these companies work, what these companies do, and don't be in a hurry to call any company a blue chip. It takes long time. It takes maybe 15 years to be called a blue chip. Just because they paid dividend once or twice or gave a bonus, it does not make it a blue chip, right? Companies can be there for very long, pay dividends, and still not find the fancy of investors. All that is important, and don't look for the next Asian Paints, next Hdfc, next Pidilite. All the all these steps which were necessary for them to become so successful may not be available. It may not, the same management may not be capable, and the same management which is running these companies so successfully may not be able to run the business after some time. Look at Hdfc Bank and ICICI Bank, their valuations have caught up. It's fairly obvious you have to, the valuations had to catch up simply because there is no Mr. Deepak Parekh and no Mr. Aditya Puri. So that extra premium, the extra PE that you were getting for HDFC has vanished. Does it mean HDFC is not a good buy at this price? I'm not commenting. Do I say that ICICI is a better buy? Again, I'm not commenting. And remember, all these companies which I mentioned, HUL, Colgate, Patanjali, what else did I, Z, Shapurji, Palunji, I could have some FD or shares or something of all the HUL, ICICI, HDFC, all these companies, I hold shares, right? So I'm not recommending any of these shares. These shares I've been holding for an extremely long period of time. Your buying or not buying is not going to change the price. Very bravely I can say I've been holding all these shares for 20 years. Patanjali obviously no, it got listed much later. So yes, so I hold all these shares, so just as a caveat. Thank you.